Good afternoon. Welcome back. Working on the 1982 380 SL. I'd been noticing some weird slop in the accelerator pedal, and had been noticing when I looked under the hood and would press on the accelerator pedal, things were just kind of flopping around a little bit. Something was wrong. And so I started to look closer to the accelerator linkage down in here. And of course now this is all fixed. But if you've ever looked at your accelerator linkage on an R107, it is very complicated looking. And I have never seen so many ball joints and things that turn and twist and pull, starting over here by the gas pedal down under there, going up here, over, across to another mechanism right there which moves, which goes around to this side of the engine and finally goes off towards the cruise control module right up there, and then also right down here where it attaches to the throttle body. So it's really not as complicated as you think. And I found out very quickly what was wrong. This right here is called the longitudinal regulator shaft. Okay? And I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to video this right here to look at this and show you that when you press on your gas pedal, this fitting right here goes down and attaches to a rod that goes inside when you press down on the accelerator pedal. My shaft here, this longitudinal regulating shaft that has a spring right up here and then attaches down here into a bushing right here. This whole thing has got a hole down here and it's a bushing right there. And then it also slips up here with a spring into another bushing right there. And you could move it backwards and forwards, just sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. And I said, well, looks like I'm missing pieces. So let's go look at the factory service manual from Mercedes. Okay, here is the official Mercedes-Benz R107 diagram for the accelerator pedal and the linkages. You need to compare this to what you have on your car, but right up here, this thing here is called the longitudinal regulating shaft, okay? Mine would slide forward and backwards because basically these little check balls, number 2 and number 2, were missing. And 2A was missing also. So it could slide in between this bearing, which is on the firewall, and this bearing, which is right up close to the engine. Okay? These two parts, 2 and 2A, are sold as a kit. They have them at Auto House, Arizona. It is kit number 126-300-0085, and they were about $5.50 each. You need 2 kits to be able to do this. At the front here, this is on the engine itself. There's a little clip right here, which attaches to this little nib on the shaft right there, okay? You've got the shaft that has a little bushing right there, a little spacer washer. Then you have 2A, which Mercedes calls 2A is the bearing bushing. Sorry, this is trying to do this. Which goes through a hole in this little plastic ball, which is called the joint ball. which then goes into number 35, which is called the bearing for longitudinal regulating shaft, and then held on with a clip. So this is bolted to the engine. The other end of this is the firewall. And you have a ball there, and you also have that bushing, a spring, and then that attaches to this whole device, which in my car was just going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards because those parts were missing. It was really not that hard to get this apart, because it is missing that both of those balls and both of those bushings, so it would slide forwards and backwards, just like that, okay? All I did was take this clip off, which is number 1, and then I pushed it backwards, kind of lifted it up a little bit, pulled it forwards out of the firewall hole, and took it off and cleaned it up. In order to do that, you have to remove 2 little places that attach this longitudinal regulating shaft. One is to number 5, which is a push rod. You see, this is your accelerator pedal down here. It comes up, this comes out here, and it attaches there, but you just connect this fitting right there. You pop the little ball off the stud, and then over here, you have to pop the ball off the stud here, because attached to this is another rod that goes horizontally over to hook up to the linkage that goes down into your throttle body. It's hard to explain. You look at it in the picture and you go, well, how does all that work? So the best thing to do is get someone in the car and just step on the gas pedal while you watch how everything moves. When you look at it on the car, there is that longitudinal shaft. This is the one clip that you have to take off, which goes across to the linkage on the passenger side of the engine. And then the other one is sitting right here. You pop that one off, because that attaches to this big device down in here, which actually attaches to the gas pedal. It's pretty fascinating. You can see I now have it reassembled. There is the new ball right there. You cannot see the bushing sleeve because well, here it is, it's right here when I'm poking on it. Then towards the front by the engine, you can see it's very hard to see, but it slides into a hole here. There's the ball right there and that little sleeve too. And what a difference it makes. I also have some grease on there. But this thing is rock solid now. Now you cannot move and put this thing, I could pull it all the way in and all the way out, which made everything very sloppy. But she's real tight now. I've got some grease on there, so it's all back in there. I do recall somewhere in one of the service manuals it states that a little bit of automatic transmission fluid in these little joints right here, okay, right where the little balls fit right into it. All this stuff just clips right in. Will help make it nice and smooth also. But I have really good movement now. I mean, everything works perfectly fine. It just, no slop. This should help getting me a little better feel with my gas pedal. Not a very hard job to do. Investment of about, $12, and everything is back to the way it should be. I hope this helps someone. I found like I showed the part number and I showed you the service manual pictures, and I'm going to tell you, if you can ever find the actual Mercedes-Benz service manuals in a book form, you need to get them, because a lot of this, I mean, these are the manuals. This is my service manual for V8 engine, okay, for the 3.8 V8 and the 5.0 V8. And most of the things in here, it's the same engine that's in the S-Class sedan and also in the 300 SL, 380 SL, and also the 500 SL. But anyway, these books are just priceless. They have everything in them. At one time, Mercedes-Benz actually put these on CDs. You lose a lot in the CD because they're trying to take pictures of the original drawings in the manuals, and they just do not do it justice. So if you've got some throttle issues and some sloppiness in your gas pedal, it took me less than 40 minutes to figure all this out, and also just reinstall the new bushing kit. I'm glad they still make them. Have a great day.